I'm Tom O'Neill for Yahoo at the Awards with Gold Derby, here with Matthew McConaughey, star of Dallas Buyers Club and now Oscar nominee. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tom.
This is a long road from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, isn't it? You know, when Susan Lucci finally won the Emmy, she said, there's a lot to be said for anticipation. It's not all bad till you get to that place, where you get kind of awards recognition. Do you think there's some wisdom to that?
I think my word I would use would be stay on the approach. Approach, approach, approach. I mean, in career life for me, I mean, who knows? In hindsight, we always look back and we can figure out the science of how we got where. But while we're on the way, we don't really, it doesn't add up to be so scientific. So I've been enjoying the process of making films and inhabiting characters more than I ever have in my career. I've been doing it for 22 years. I'm getting heaps out of it. It's giving back to me. So I try to never feel like, oh, what's the result going to be from this? Oh, is this the destination? Just really stay on the approach. And right now, I'm reaping a lot of benefits and a lot of rewards, and people are shining a nice light on what I got to do. And for instance, Dallas Buyers Club, and also on the film in 6 different categories, which makes me really proud. Since we almost shouldn't have got this thing made anyway.
You began early in your career as, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing this, as the guy who took his shirt off. But I have an irony for you, Matthew. If you win that Oscar, they're going to give you a statue of a man without a shirt on.
I think I said something similar to that at the Independent Spirit Awards for Magic Mike. So I think it said something like I had to drop my drawers to get an award. Some sort of little rhyme like that.
Well, would you ever go back the other way? Would you ever do rom-coms again?
Absolutely. And look, whether it works or not, it's been fun to try and say, look, try both. Try to do everything. I enjoyed the romantic comedies. I cannot sit here and say I would never do another one. There's a real joy in the buoyancy of those things, as I call them Saturday afternoon characters, which is what they really are. We all know the story. We know it's going to be boy meets girl, they break up, boy chase girl, at the end they get together. We know the story, but how much fun and escapism can we give them in an hour and a half of those? I enjoyed those. I would not say that I would never do another one.
You're having an amazing time right now. You've got True Detective on HBO, Wolf of Wall Street in theaters, Dallas Buyers Club as well. Mud was earlier this year.
Yeah.
Sometimes life, you plant all these seeds and everything just comes together at once, doesn't it?
Well, I got very fortunate. Who knows? I mean, a lot of these films that I've done the last 2 years have been independent films. And as we know, an independent film doesn't come out with any guarantee that it's going to be handed to the public in a large format. Meaning, you're not guaranteed you're going to get out in 1,000 screens even. So an independent film has a higher likelihood of being made. Okay, great experiment. Now let's go straight to video, or it's not going to be seen. I was in a bunch of considerably good films, liked or not. Each one of the films I was in had a real identity. Paperboy had an identity. Killer Joe, even with an NC-17, had an identity and had made its dent. So I got very fortunate in that these independent films came to light. They got seen. You know how independent films are. To be seen, they have to have word of mouth. And Bernie was a little movie that could. Magic Mike was an independent film, but went kaboom, became a blockbuster. Mud, beautiful film. Now, I also have gotten fortunate in the release schedule of these films. If you look back at my release schedule of the films that I've been able to be in, Mud was going to be year before last, in 2012. They held on to it. So I got to be in Mud, and it got to be around in the spring. So I got to be around in a very relevant movie in the spring and in the people's eyes. And then, you brought up True Detective. True Detective was originally going to be released in March. So we wouldn't be talking about that right now. And then Wolf of Wall Street moved around. Also, the fact that Focus decided to release Dallas Buyers Club in October instead of November. So we had a little more open space for people to see Dallas Buyers Club and then pass on the word of mouth. So the release schedules really had a nice part to do with where we're sitting now, too.
You just came from the Oscar nominee lunch. What happened? Give us a little couple of stories.
Oh, well, it was great to see that many faces. Boy, what a guest list. What a guest list. And to see that many faces, some of the people I almost forget, that I've worked with before. There was some small circles for me there, meaning Richard Linklater. He's there with his film, you know, and that's the guy who gave me my first job in 1992. He was there. To see Sandra Bullock there, there's someone I worked with in 96 or 97. And then new people and people that I admire, some directors that I was really wanting to see and say hello to, some foreign directors that I got to reacquaint myself with, to see people in our industry that are all there, extremely proud of the work they got to do and the films they got to work on. You saw passion, singular passion on everybody's face. It's a big day, and it's a big event for everyone to be there going, yeah, this is something to be here. That was nice to see. It's really something. I love our industry anyway, but to see that many people specifically have that much passion for what they do on a day like today, and all in one room, was something I'll definitely remember.
Wow. Well, thanks for talking to us, Matthew. Go out and win an Oscar. Thanks.
We'll see. Thank you.
Yahoo!